This is Politicus News with Sarah Jones, and here is what's happening. It's pretty crazy. The president told border agents to ignore the law, and he is now getting rid of anyone whose loyalty is to our laws over Trump's whims. White House Chief of Staff Mulvaney says the request from Congress for Trump's tax returns will not be met. They're going to ignore the law. Trump keeps claiming that he can't turn over his returns because they are under audit, but there is no such IRS rule for returns under audit. Every president has published their tax returns, and their returns are always under audit. Republican senators are siding with Mulvaney on the taxes and hiding the truth of the Mueller report by suggesting that Barr tell Mueller what he can say and Mueller can testify, instead of sharing the summaries that Mueller's team already prepared for Congress. So obviously Republicans know that the taxes and the Mueller report are bad for Trump. The rule of law is being tested as Trump creates upheaval and instability in the Department of Homeland Security and continues to endanger our national security in order to soothe his out-of-control, what looks like narcissism, because he just can't stand being denied everything that he wants. This time he ordered border agents to break U.S. law and defy judicial orders before pushing out the Homeland Security Secretary, as well as firing the Secret Service director after the Secret Service expressed concerns about Trump letting spies into his private club. The Secret Service busted a Chinese national spying at Mar-a-Lago. So what does Trump do? Does he do what a normal person would do and try harder to follow the law and national security protocol? Nope, not Trump. He goes in full bore with classic Trump chaos. When Trump couldn't push Nielsen, who was morally okay with caging babies, into violating U.S. law by shutting down the border, and Trump was unable to stop the surge of migrants seeking asylum here, which in true narcissistic form he actually made worse by cutting aid to Northern Triangle countries, he tossed a bunch of metaphorical bombs out, bombs that hurt our national security, bombs that actually threaten American lives, as well as violate U.S. law. Trump is conducting a dangerous purge at the nation's second largest security agency. There can be no doubt that Trump's purge is making a vital national security agency less stable and endangering the security of the nation. One day after Trump pushed out his Homeland Security Secretary, Kirstjen Nielsen, he announced that he was firing the director of the U.S. Secret Service, the agency that provides protection for him and other top U.S. officials. The Secret Service director reports to the Homeland Security Secretary, so basically Trump is building a Stephen Miller Department of Homeland Security, which is enough to legitimately cause more than the normal Trump is in charge level of concern. His first Homeland Security Secretary was John Kelly, who later became his chief of staff. Nielsen stopped Trump from reinstating his family separation policy by explaining that he would be reversing his own executive order from June that ended the family separation policy that they denied existed, as well as violating a court order in U.S. law. According to leaks reported in the New York Times, quote, the president called Miss Nielsen at home early in the morning to demand that she take action to stop migrants from entering the country, including doing things that were clearly illegal, such as blocking all migrants from seeking asylum. She repeatedly noted that the limitations imposed on her department by federal law, court settlements, and international obligations, end quote. Trump actually told border agents to break U.S. law and defy judicial orders, according to reporting from CNN. A senior administration official told CNN that while in California, Trump told border agents he wanted them to stop letting people cross the border, even though seeking asylum is legal. So he wants the border agents to violate U.S. law. CNN also reported a senior administration official saying Secretary Nielsen, quote, believed the situation was becoming untenable, with the president becoming increasingly unhinged about the border crisis and making unreasonable and even impossible requests. So we're getting someone who will violate the law at the border for Trump, per his white supremacist Stephen Miller immigration policy, and this person's going to be in charge of Homeland Security. Feeling safer already? Not so much. The big picture here is this isn't the only time or the only way that Trump has pushed his own staff to extremes and into doing legally risky things. And when they won't do what he wants, when they push back against him, he pushes them out and replaces them with someone even less scrupulous. Trump is violating the law and firing anyone who won't comply. He is weaponizing the Department of Homeland Security and Secret Service. It doesn't seem as if we can afford to wait until the 2020 election, but we know that Republicans won't stand with the rule of law or their country. Join me on Friday morning for the next episode of 100% People-Driven Politicus News with Sarah Jones. You can find our episodes on Politicus USA at the top of the page. To get alerts of new videos, follow us on Facebook and YouTube, and do subscribe to our newsletter. We are independent, and the facts are real.